Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. No technical difficulties. No nothing. Welcome officially to this year's post-game live. I am your host, Big Mike. We're here live. Nonsense going on already, and it's only night 3 of the playoffs. But we are here to chop it up after the Knicks Pistons. You see it on the scroll. Pistons 100, Knicks 94. We are now tied at 1 game apiece. We're going to go to a madhouse in Detroit on Thursday. We're here to recap it, chop it up with everyone tonight. You know I can't do it alone. The Mad Producer Podcast Poppy is still here in the building.
Going live for the first time tonight, ladies and gentlemen.
Going.
First time tonight.
I cannot do this without my fellow Knicks fans in here. Anthony in the building.
We're on to Detroit.
Oh, Bill Belichick.
That's all I'm listening.
And
we're on to Detroit.
Breezy in the building as well. We got a full house tonight. Breezy underwater, apparently. I don't know what's going on over there.
Boys, before we continue, I would like to make a confession. I made a bet tonight. The first bet in a long time. First bet in months. I was like, you know what? Let me bet U.S. currency on a game tonight. And I bet $10 that Tobias Harris would score 15 points and the Knicks would win. And I won $56. So shout out to me. I mean, not the Knicks, the Pistons would win.
I was about to say.
Shout to me. It would be the reverse jinx of every time I bet on the Knicks, they lose. But not this time. I bet on the Pistons.
Yeah, I was going to give you some applause, but then once you throw that in there, no.
And then I also hit on Pistons +7. So shout out to your boy.
Yeah, we're not applauding.
Hottest gambler alive.
But let's recap it because a lot went down in this game. This was a more physical game, as I think we all pretty much expected. It was going to be more physical, which is fine. It was very physical.
I didn't expect it to be this physical without Isaiah Stewart.
I did not either.
I did.
I think they made it a point.
Oh, yeah, I forgot he wasn't playing.
I think they made it a point. It was like, yeah, we can't just have this man be the identity of physicality for us. We have to do it as a collective. And I think they did that tonight.
And they got away with a lot of stuff. Knicks got away with fouling. The problem, I'll let Anthony and James argue about the refs. My problem with the game is just the inconsistency. Like, if you're going to call it physical. But then in the fourth quarter, everything was a foul. So, like, I get it. You want to reel it in. And in clutch time, I don't really think the refs impacted the game too much in clutch time, although Josh Hart's dunk definitely was an N1. That was a
yeah,
foul.
that was there. That should have been a foul.
Now, I don't know how much that impacts the game. I mean, it changes it because Detroit now has to point, but they have to inbound. It's a free throw. Like it changes it, but I wouldn't say that's why they lost. I mean, Schroeder hit the big shot and Bridges missed the big shot. So, I mean, that's where that's, but the hole that the Knicks had to dig themselves out of, to me, was definitely
self-inflicted.
I think the refs just did not.
Like, I'm not going to say the refs weren't a factor. The problem is the Knick offense doesn't exist, and it didn't exist in this game. The Knick offense resulted back into what it was all playoffs.
Brunson and friends.
Was Brunson and Prey. The only difference for these two games are game one, you had the 21-point run, right? Outside of that 21-point run, the Pistons outplayed you guys 7 out of 8 quarters. And the whole second half was literally Jalen Brunson and Prey. And the only difference between this year and last year was you guys weren't getting offensive rebounds. You had 3 guys at all times crashing the boards last year. You had DiVincenzo, you had Josh Hart, and you had Hartenstein crashing the offensive boards last year, which allowed you to play that type of offense where Brunson would have to score 40 for a win. This year, you guys you don't have that because Mitch is on the bench, right? Mitch is on the bench. Cat is your second guy, and he was giving no effort on either side of the court. He stopped taking shots with 7 minutes in the third quarter. There's no way you have Tobias Harris guarding you and not a single set up on the block. Like, that's unacceptable. Like, Shaq literally gave you praise going into halftime. Be like, we like that Cat is being physical here. We saw him talk shit to Tobias Harris in the first half, and the second you put fucking B-ball Paul and Jalen Duran on him, where was he? Gone. And then the fourth quarter, Tobias Harris was still guarding him out at the three-point line. I don't understand why he's not trying to establish himself. And the last shot he took was the most physical shot I think he took all game. He took fucking Tobias Harris out with the elbow to create the space and just threw the ball at the backboard.
He did get fouled on that play, but
he also created the space on the play to get that up, make the strong move. Like, that's what that is. That's what you're supposed to do. And he could have dunked that.
He absolutely,
he absolutely could have dunked that.
He's not dunking that though.
But anybody else is when you're 2 feet from the rim, right?
He's not dunking it.
I want to know where the Knick offense is, where Jalen Brunson was missing time during the year, where OG Anunoby was getting better looks. Like, the team was fluid. And I'm not saying it's Jalen Brunson's fault because he's a phenomenal player, but I don't understand how, if Jalen Brunson is doing that, it's all ISO.
I would disagree. I don't think offense.
I do disagree.
I think they missed a lot of shots. I will agree with you that OG
offense wasn't bad because Jalen Brunson was just playing really good and was bailing it out.
I think the offense
scored 25 instead of the 30-something that he scored.
Mikal Bridges had a good game,
but nobody else did.
There was a lot.
OG didn't have a good game.
OG didn't have a good game, and he looked tired at the end of the game. That I will say, OG didn't have a good game, but
Cat was awful. The bench did nothing.
But they were just missing shots that I've seen them make. So that's also why I'm not concerned. But if they're gonna let them play football like I expect them to on Thursday, then it's gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough. It's gonna go one of two ways.
Not built to play Detroit basketball like this.
No one's built to play Detroit basketball outside of maybe Orlando.
Detroit is built to play Detroit basketball.
I would say like Detroit, and like I said, maybe Orlando could play like this.
Boston can.
If you make them stop shooting threes, they get real. I don't want to say basic, but they get a lot easier to guard if you stop them from shooting.
But they will also do it on defense too.
It's a lot easier said than done.
They'll play defense.
They'll play, but I'm saying stopping them offensively. Their offense is real simple if you force them to stop taking threes. Like, I've seen them lose because they just don't know what it's because what happens to Boston is
Blackheart. I'm giving Boston a compliment here. What are we doing?
What happens to Boston is they turn into what you're talking about with the Knicks. They give the ball to Jason Tatum and they all stop moving and get out to play. So, like, Boston's beatable. You just got to be able to do it. But the Knicks, like I said, the hole that they dug themselves out of, they had to dig themselves out of tonight was just too much. The inconsistency from the refs did not help. But again, when the Knicks decided to turn it up and play like they had some sense and meet Detroit where they're at, here they came, and you can see the youth in Detroit. This series is making me nervous because I feel like the Knicks aren't taking them serious, and that is not good. That's not good. I don't think the Knicks take them. I think the Knicks are looking at them like these young boys ain't ready for us. And these young boys absolutely are ready.
Did you see Malik Beasley just sit there yelling at I forgot who it was, playoff basketball. Basketball.
He's a bum. He's a bum.
Don't do that. Malik Beasley's not a bum. He's not a bum. He did not have a good game, but he is not a bum.
He had a game one?
No, he did not have a good game, but he's not a bum.
He
also had a good game one.
No,
he had a great game one. Yes, he did.
No, he did not.
He had a good game one. What are you talking about?
I need to see it. I don't remember him doing anything in game one.
Mike, he's also runner-up for 6 Man of the Year. He's not a
That's great. That's great for him. He's not going to win. I understand
this Knicks versus everybody, Mike. Shut the hell up, though.
He's not going to win. He's not going to win.
Malik Beasley had 20 on 7 from 16 shooting, shot 6 for 12 from 3 in game one. What are we doing?
No impact.
What?
No impact. No impact.
Again, the only lost game one is because they had no timeouts to give at the 7-minute mark in the fucking fourth quarter. When the run started.
That was bad. That was bad coaching. JB's better than that.
That was horrendous coaching. That's
JB's better than that.
And Roz's take fucking aged like milk. Fucking aged like milk. Said Detroit may not win a game if they play like this.
I knew he It didn't even dignify his response because, like,
what that was about, though, right? That was the only time he can get any of the Knicks fans in the group to
say something
with it, yeah,
and then he can go ha ha,
yeah.
Like that statement was so not fair to JB Bickerstaff as a head coach, like not at all. For him to be like, I think the message is going to be lost, and it's going to be instead of saying we lost that one, it's like we were right there, guys. No, absolutely not. Detroit knows they fucking lost that game, and that they were this close to stealing game one. They were a run away from winning game one in the Garden. And
they played like it tonight.
Yeah.
They played like it tonight.
The problem is their immaturity showed a little bit towards the end because this game shouldn't have been that close.
If they started falling apart again.
Kudos to Detroit for picking the fourth quarter to be like, hey, we're going to put Jalen Brunson in pick and roll hell, and we're going to try to attack him.
They need to play like up top man zone type of defense because what happens is OG doesn't have any confidence that anybody behind him is going to step up to help with the drive.
Unless you put Mitch in the game.
Because Cat won't. That's why. Because
Soft.
Cat won't.
Soft.
So you're absolutely right, James. But the reason the answer to that is because Cat won't step up, and OG knows that. So he's killing himself. He's doing exactly what you and Dylan scream about all the time. He's killing himself to get around these picks. And like I said, I don't know about y'all. He looked tired to me at the end of the game.
I think the entire Knicks team looked tired. They looked like they were in a fight.
Tonight was a fight.
Yeah, they looked like it. The entire
team I'm not using this. I'm not using this fatigue excuse. Detroit was tired too. And everybody was tired. The type of game that was played today was very. I mean, generally speaking, everybody was tired. All right, everyone was fatigued. It was a very, very physical game today. I'm not using.
You could tell that
if I'm gonna list all the reasons why the Knicks lost, tired is like towards the bottom.
Wow, it's bottom.
Yeah, it's bottom, but you can clearly tell Detroit was in control of the game.
They were in control.
They were
90% of the game.
So like, these are my fears from the beginning of the season when the trade happened that Cat is not going to be able to match the intensity of the playoffs, and he is going to start to shrink because I don't know what it is. But it's like you you can't afford to sit your star player down in big moments, but it's like you have no choice to sit him down for the better defensive player because he's not that. I was surprised that he got that block on Cade that ultimately turned into a tap-in by Reed, but it's like you should be doing that more often.
Soft.
You can't be that athletic and big as a center and not at least be a great help side defender because he's just letting guys go and get their shot up.
That's what's the frustrating part. It's not like he's not good at it. He's just lazy. His defense is lazy. He won't do it. Like he'll just look and he'll just go, you got it.
If this is last year's team, the Knicks are up 2-0 going into Detroit.
Last year's Knicks team is up 2-0.
Last year's Knicks team is up 2-0, and I think they have convincing wins.
This year's Knicks team, I'm telling you, with Julius Randle, is up 2-0.
No,
you can say Julius is not gonna stand there and look at it though. As much as you hate him, he's not gonna just stand there. I've seen him play enough, Dylan.
Well, Julius Randle wasn't on last year's playoff team, so we're going based off of Dante and Hartenstein, that group, the group that actually played this style of basketball last year.
They're up to
that group because Randle's not doing that.
He's closing out.
Randle's trying. And with what proof do we have Randle's closing anything out?
I mean, you expect Randle to take the shot. You could expect him to attempt.
Randle would have shot the basketball.
Randle would have gone into the post. He would have.
Randle would have wanted to
tortured. Yeah, he would have tortured Cade Cunningham down there. He would just like he was torturing Austin Reeves in Game 1. You put a small on Julius Randle, he's like, give me the ball, get out the way.
The one thing, if Detroit is able to clean up their turnovers, because they, in the first half, literally every other possession, and they were literally keeping you guys in the game.
If the Knicks could have made a shot, like you're saying that Detroit was in control, if the Knicks could have made a shot in the first half, they would have ran Detroit off the floor.
It's also the shot selections in the first half. Like I hear you with the refs and all that stuff, but you guys were taking so many more jump shots. Not even just threes, just jump shots as a whole. And we're like, oh, we're supposed to get foul calls. You're not going to get foul calls on jump shots like that.
But the Knicks wasn't taking a jump shot every shot down.
No, but there was more jump shots taken.
Dylan, like that.
We were at a point in the
but there were some clear drives to the hoop where we weren't getting calls.
It's still the same, Dylan. We were at
in the first half too.
Hey, Cunningham had more free throws than the Knicks. At the same time
in the first half, y'all
Here's what I'm not going to let you try and defend or justify the fact that they had 15 free throws to us having none. Like I'm just not going to let you try and justify. That was some BS. There was at least 3 or 4 possessions where we got hacked and we didn't get no calls. Josh Hart literally got smacked on a 3. If you want to talk about outside shooting,
hand on a shot. That's not a foul.
They were foul.
Listen, Dylan, of all those free throws Detroit was taking, how
led to free throws?
How many of those ticky-tacky calls were Detroit getting in the first half? Because they were getting quite a few of those.
Listen, Detroit got a couple calls they shouldn't have gotten, right? But there's also a bunch of non-calls that didn't happen on that side too, that the refs didn't call. So, like, again, we can sit here
but you can't minimize how much having a 15 free throw disparity helps the team out.
Attack the basket. Put your best players.
We did attack the basket.
They did attack the basket. No, that's what I'm
there
saying.
Was shots taken.
We did attack the basket. I saw the same game. I was watching the same game as you did.
Let's put Cat on the block and make them pay while they are down man on that position.
But the Knicks were doing that. The first half, Cat was attacking the basket, and they still weren't calling it. That's what I'm telling you, Dylan. Like,
we're gonna do
we
that.
Had half our players screaming.
Stood straight.
We had half our players screaming at the referees. There were literally analysts questioning why is the referee so garbage? Like literally.
And they're also saying why Cat hasn't been on the block at all. Put your players in a position to make the refs make that call. You know who is the most likely person to get to the free throw line besides Jalen Brunson?
I would say Josh Hart.
We just didn't do it.
Josh Hart also didn't attack the basket. Josh Hart didn't take a fucking real shot attempt until the fucking third quarter. He was 0 for 2 in the first half. So how is Josh Hart going to get a free throw attempt if he's only taking 2 shots?
He was literally smacked on a 3-pointer. He literally had a put in that should have been an and one. He got smacked on that too.
His ball again. The dunk in the fourth.
It wasn't
a foul. But again, what does that fix?
Again, don't leave out the 3-pointer, dude. You got smacked on a 3-pointer. It was clear as day.
You could hit a hand on a 3-pointer. Hand his ball just like you can hit a hand.
We hit hands too, and they called fouls on us.
They called fouls on 3-point attempts for.
We were hitting hands too, and they called fouls on us.
Again,
they were calling everything on the inside.
About little things. Little things.
15 free throws to none is not a little thing, Dylan. Like, why? Like, what are we doing here, man? Like, I'm not saying that our loss was squarely on the refs. I'm not. That's just being dishonest. Like, again, our team. Like, I agree with you. Our offense was bad today. Our offense was bad.
Do you know who had 0 free throws today? Karl Anthony Towns.
Who had 0 free throws?
Karl Anthony.
Yeah, he just didn't play well. He didn't play well in any facet today. He just didn't. Like, our team collectively just didn't play well.
Put him on the block. You at least have him take 6.
But the thing is, I hear you on the execution part, Dylan. But here's the thing: we just weren't making shots either. We had a lot of good looks. We had a fair amount of open looks, and the shots just didn't go down. So yeah, you can talk about execution could be better here and there. Yeah, it absolutely can. But we weren't making any shots.
You guys shot 40%.
Everyone not named Brunson was just off tonight.
42% as a team. You shot higher from 3 than Detroit did. You made more threes than Detroit did. So we can't do they just missed shots.
What's the non-Brunson percentage? I'm saying everyone not named Brunson did not play well offensively.
They're just not taking shots. OG Anunoby shot 40% from the field. He stopped taking shots.
We missed a bunch of crucial shots when we needed them.
But again, it's like you guys only shot 2% less than fucking Detroit did, and you made more shots than they did. It's just the type of
but you're just doing that thing where you're just reading off. You're doing that thing where you're just reading off a bunch of stats.
But you're telling me you missed a lot of shots? You made more shots than Detroit did.
We missed a lot of key shots, Dylan.
Again, now you're changing it to key shots.
We missed a lot of key shots, Dylan.
Using the stats to reflect what I saw, guys weren't shooting enough. Brunson shot 27 times. 27. Why is Mikal Bridges the second person shooting more? Why is he the person shooting 18 shots?
Why wouldn't I? I don't have a problem with Mikal.
But why is it him and not Cat?
Cat didn't have.
Why isn't him? Why isn't OG taking more shots? That's my problem. Like, if Mikal Bridges having 18 shots, sure. What does Cat have if Mikal has 18? Because Cat needs to have those shots.
I mean, Cat had 11. It's not
5 for 11.
It's not like he had 5 shots. He had 11 shots.
He made 5 for 11 and then he stopped.
He didn't do anything in the fourth quarter.
7 minutes left in the third quarter. He stopped playing offense. So it's not even a matter
of. I don't think he scored in the second half.
He didn't. He took that one shot on Tobias Harris and then stopped shooting. He only took one shot in the second half. He went into halftime 5 for 10. So it's not even a matter of you guys just missing shots. Guys stopped playing. Brunson was taking all the shots because nobody else was.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, man. You can't be the sole contributor when it comes to this type of game right here. There has to be a team effort. Everybody has to put up shots, because if you leave it up to one guy, then you leave it up to the fact that they can double team, triple team, and have confidence that nobody else is going to shoot, and this person is also not going to pass the ball. So you have to give this team that you're playing in the playoffs multiple looks, just like how they were doing with us. They were passing, driving. They were missing shots that saved us because they were getting good shots wide open. We didn't have the same luxury.
We were getting right, but the reason why, again, down the stretch in the fourth quarter, we did try to give it to other people. We gave it to Brady. We gave it to other people. They were missing their shots. That's why Brunson had to go into takeover mode. Like, they were getting wide open threes, bricking it.
The problem
Freaking
is
Josh Hart couldn't even make a damn layup. Like,
everybody was getting demoralized. Like, the team melted in the second quarter once they saw shit was getting a little weird. The only person who didn't wither was Brunson. He was the only one who saw the adversity in front of him, was like, everybody's just gonna stop.
But that also is an issue when you only have one ball handler on the floor. Because Josh can't really dribble. OG can't really dribble. Cat, he's a big guy. And then Mikal, he's probably the second best ball handler on the court. Even though Josh could bring the ball up. It's that when you have one ball handler on the court, this is what you run into. Somebody dominating the ball because it just will lead to turnovers.
And because Tibbs doesn't stagger minutes, like we didn't get a lot of Deuce. And here we are, because me and James had this conversation.
Mm-hmm.
Landry,
ShamWow needs to be in the game.
He stinks.
ShamWow needs to take a couple shots.
Oh, hold on. Wait. Oh, hold on.
What has he done in these 2 games?
Mike, he played 5 games.
Mike, hold on.
Exactly.
Wait, Mike, hold on. Shaman needs to be out there. Because when he can get going, he can give us a couple good shots. He can give us some threes.
Don't disrespect ShamWow.
And he really can go on a burner, Mike.
Mike is a Tibbs guy. It gives me you give off Tibbs guy because what happened is
you play,
bro.
Mike, when you need something, you have to just throw shit at the wall.
You have to play. I know lineup shrink. We are already shrunking though. That's the thing. You are already a shrunken lineup. And the lineup is gonna shrink even more. You talk about you think these guys look tired at the end of the games, right? You need to play 1 or 2 more people. You need to play.
I don't know why.
Regardless if
Precious is just in
not.
The doghouse.
Deuce needs to also play more.
Precious
minutes.
Precious does stink.
But he can run and jump.
I don't want to see Precious on the court. I don't want to see Precious on basketball.
No. You need Precious in the game because when Cat is playing like how he's playing, you're gonna at least get effort from Precious.
Put James's favorite player.
Yeah, that I can agree with.
Porter or whatever.
He's coming from a torn MCL. He's healthy. He's getting healthy. You can't throw him in the game just yet. He may not even play this playoffs. But the thing is, you play Precious because
play Precious, play
Precious. Regardless if he's gonna miss, he's gonna go out there. He's gonna get blocks. He may not get many points, but he may dunk on somebody.
I agree.
Effort.
He might make a couple hustle plays.
Yeah.
He played 5 minutes. He was still a -2. He played 5
minutes. If you can get him in the right positions, he can go on a burner and knock down a couple threes like that. I like him just for that. At the end of the day,
The problem tonight was Cam Payne came in, and I don't know what the hell he was doing for the 4 minutes that he played. Had
foul trouble.
Bad
foul trouble.
He had 3 fouls and 3 of the
other fouls
you'll ever see in 4 minutes. And Tibbs said, "That's enough. Sit down." I can understand that's enough. Sit down for the first half. You got to bring him back in the game.
You do.
You got to bring
you got to bring him back in.
But the first half, I
got to bring him back in
because I was sitting here like, what the hell is campaign?
But the thing
Tim
is,
treated campaign like Bill Belichick treats running backs who fumble. He said, "All right, you're out. You're not coming back."
The
thing is, if you sit campaign, you gotta play McBride. You gotta play him.
Yeah, I don't understand why he didn't play Deuce more. I don't understand. Like Dennis Schroeder ain't that much better than Deuce. Like
I don't think he is even better.
I don't know. It's close. Schroeder is still pretty good.
I think Schroeder's a little better than Deuce.
Schroeder's still pretty good. I'm not going to disrespect him. He's still pretty good.
Yeah. I can't disrespect him. I mean, he literally he beat us.
I would say he won the game tonight.
That doesn't make him good.
Yeah, he won the game
tonight. He was bothering Brunson in game 1.
Schroeder had a good game tonight.
He was bothering Brunson in game 1.
Schroeder played a really good game.
I'm not going to disrespect him. Like he can play a little bit, but that's backup on backup. That's what I'm saying. You can't like Deuce can play with him though. Like he's not going to get on the court and get blown away.
He definitely has to play him because the thing happens here is that now what's happening is you're playing. Brunson is playing Cade and Schroeder.
Yeah.
Yep.
And Thompson.
These guys are getting rest.
And having Thompson guard him full court.
Yeah, and he's playing both of them. And then it was interesting to me that it was like 5 minutes or something like that left in the game, right? And the commentator was like, Brunson's at 42 minutes. I was like, God damn.
And that's with him giving all of New York a scare when he ran off the court for whatever reason.
To change his sneakers?
I was freaking out. He need to have his sneakers. He need to have his sneakers on the bench or some shit. He can't be going to the locker room.
TNT always figures out how to find somebody who has played for the opposite team that the Knicks are facing to put on commentary. Good thing Grant Hill's not like incredibly biased.
I didn't even watch the TNT broadcast.
I'm sitting there. I'm just like, last year they really had Reggie
Miller just calling every game
series. And then this year they got Grant Hill calling. I'm like, oh, it's not like Grant Hill was a fucking Detroit Pistons for a while.
No bias.
Grant Hill also was doing a good job.
Grant is a better commentator than Reggie.
Oh, you're just a hater.
He's not, Mike.
Grant Hill is a good analyst.
Grant Hill is not really that good.
He's not better than Reggie.
Grant did his thing, but he's not as good as Reggie. Grant did a good job trying not to let his Pistons colors show.
Reggie Miller's a good analyst?
Yes.
Oh, my God, Mike.
Yes,
no. James. Reggie Miller's a good analyst?
Yes. Why would you think he will be on All-Star Weekend? What the hell?
And isn't he like one of the primary guys for the New Deal?
I don't know what he's
for Amazon or whatever the fuck it is.
Please,
Mike,
I hope not.
You're disgusting.
I hope not.
Why,
Reggie Miller annoys
because you have a fucking bias and hate towards him.
Yeah, I wonder why.
He's annoying. he's very annoying.
Reggie says one thing.
Honestly, my thing too is
just pissed.
Going back to the series, like for me personally, I don't want to see Brunson ball. I just don't want to see it anymore. Like I want us to be able to get everyone involved. Like we have to get the other guys involved. It just can't be Brunson and friends.
The Knicks don't.
We got to run plays. We got to scheme better.
They don't run.
We have to scheme, man.
They don't run plays unless it's out of a timeout, which is like insane to me. Like you need to run plays.
I think you also just like these other guys can't shrink. You can't afford to have everybody shrink. And I think like outside of Brunson, Bridges came to play and he did his thing, but the other guys in that lineup shrunk. And Deuce needs to play more because Deuce did not shrink. Deuce showed up and played his role.
More. And if the Knicks are going to win this series, 3 of their 5 starters have to play well.
I feel like Tibbs is worried about him being too small.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is.
Yeah, OG can't be having bad games.
If he's going to play, because OG clearly was focused on defense because Cade started going off. So OG went into I'm just gonna play defense mode, which is fine. But that means
Cat, not getting, but he was barbecue chicken. He was barbecue chicken all night.
And I mean that's gonna happen. Cade is a great. Me and Dylan have been screaming this since he came in the league.
I like outside of like this.
No, actually not Cade.
Like I love this for Cade, but like.
No, Cade's nice, but I mean OG was getting cooked.
I just need somebody else on the Knicks.
Mikel Bridges cannot guard him, and that's.
Oh yeah, no, he was hunting him in the first half. Like when they put Bridges on him, he was cooking him. He was like, "You are too little. You are too little for me, and I'm going to just score." The only chance you guys have is OG.
So
all you have is OG, and I decided that instead of just driving the entire time, I'm going to drive and step back fade 4 feet from the basket and get the easier shot, which was a great adjustment from game one for him. And he said, fuck it, I'm not passing. He had like 9 assists game one, and he said, I'm not doing that. I'm just going to attack. And he did that every time he had the ball. And it worked.
Yeah, he only had 3 assists tonight.
Yeah. That's I want the Knicks to have somebody else besides Brunson look at everybody and be like, what the fuck are you doing? Because there was one point in the fourth quarter where Jalen Brunson went to the free throw line and he was yelling at OG. Yelling at him. And I need somebody else to show something. Because tonight showed me a lot like what James said. It showed me that this team really is kind of soft, and you need somebody else who's going to be willing to, like, fuck that, you're not going to punk us like that. Like, they just went and they just took this in New York.
Again, that's why Precious needs
we got out-hustled.
I mean, I don't know, I know I assume we're trying to save the 14 minutes left in the knees of PJ Tucker for Boston. I'm assuming that's what we're saving those last.
Because PJ Tucker is the guy who's going to muck up the series for y'all, where he comes in and he's going to put somebody on their ass.
The problem is, like I said,
you only get that for like 4 minutes.
Yeah, 15 minutes, and then he explodes.
He's going to do that, shoot a corner 3, miss, and then right to the bench.
And he's going to explode. So,
because honestly, outside of OG, he would be the one I'd want defending Cade, but he's a little old now.
Sorry. Beautiful alley-oop joker to Aaron Gordon.
If this was PJ Tucker like 3 years ago,
the Knicks would
I'd be like, he
nasty.
needs to be on the floor. He needs to
if
be on the floor.
If this was PJ Tucker 3 years ago, the Knicks would be net because him and OG would then just be in just swap him out. Like,
yeah,
just swap. So,
like if this was the PJ Tucker from that Bucks team, that was just like German suplexing Kevin Durant that entire series.
But this is why I was screaming with James. I was so mad that the Knicks didn't go get Hunter from the Hawks because, him and OG on the wings is terrorizing to think of.
And they can make a shot for it. They didn't even try.
And to let Cleveland just go scoop him up. Because he fits. He's why Cleveland's gonna really have a shot against Boston because whichever one he guards, Brown or Tatum, they're gonna be in hell. And it's going to be on the other one to bring them home. Or Porzingis is going to have to.
And then the other one's going to have Evan Mobley on him.
but then Porzingis has to kill them. Porzingis has to kill them. Porzingis is the key to that series because Porzingis is going to have to cook Jared Allen at every facet of it. He's going to have
that's
to
not an easy thing.
It won't be on the rebounding. The offensive, you just got to bring that. You got to drag him out to the deep water, to the point line,
and chuck them 30-footers, shit,
and put him in pick and roll hell.
Yeah,
that's what they're gonna have to do because honestly, Jason Tatum, Porzingis pick and roll is just as devastating because if Porzingis fades, what are you doing? What are you doing?
Long night.
So like. That Boston Cleveland series is very intriguing. But at the end of the day, it was Knicks and 6. Like the Knicks were never. I be honest with you, I really wouldn't be surprised if the Knicks lost on Thursday either. Be honest with you, wouldn't surprise me.
After what I saw today, I think there's a world you guys go back to the Garden down 3-1.
It's going to be knuckle up
Fuck no.
4.
We can't say it can't happen because after tonight's game, I think anything is.
I didn't say that. I'm not saying it can't happen. It's just, I know. When you said that, I put a bad picture in my head.
Because this is.
I can completely see us lose. I see us losing in Game 3, but I do not see us losing Game 4. I think we go back to the Garden series tied at 2.
I thought y'all were going to lose Game 1. Like before the series started, I was like, hey, I think Detroit comes out and punches you guys in the mouth early to be like, hey, we belong. And then that didn't happen, but they showed that entire game that they belonged. They just had a bad stretch of coaching. Game 2, they came out and were like, hey, we are here. You have to take us seriously. I think Game 3, first game back in Detroit in a little while, they're going to get that. And then I think if they get that off of knuckle up, you have to put up or shut up because you could go back to the Garden down 3-1. And they've already won in the Garden once. And they almost won twice, to be honest. They're a timeout in the fourth quarter away, possibly, from being up 2-0. Possibly.
Yeah, but the inverse is they almost lost twice, Dylan.
A 21-0
run, a chance to stop the run.
That's not a fluke.
It's not a fluke.
They also almost lost twice. Because again, as bad as we played tonight, we still only lost by 6 points. We were right there.
Had a shot to tie the game with 10 seconds to go. So like, I'm not, because like Dylan, you say that they need to clean up the turnovers. That's what Detroit does. They turn, like, you're going to be in the game because they turn the ball over. Cade gets like 5-6 a game. Like,
I know that.
That's the part of his game that he needs to clean up. Like, you're going to be, so to me, like, I expect them to lose kind of Thursday, but I would be surprised if that crowd and that energy overwhelms that Detroit team and they try too hard and the Knicks catch them slipping. That's also a very real possibility. Because
it's a very real possibility.
The Knicks actually play very well on the road in the playoffs. And
this iteration is not last year's team.
We don't know. But
because you got a lot of soft boys on this team.
But the core guys, Josh Hart is going to come. Jalen Brunson is a demon on the road.
Demon. But he's a demon home and away.
Robinson actually.
He's a demon.
He is your consistent. You know Jalen Brunson's going to be there every fucking game, right? He is your one constant. Death taxes Jalen Brunson going to play well in the playoffs, right? We know that. The problem is, will Detroit shrink Cat? And we get similar performance like we did today.
I don't know about that kind. When the Knicks tied the game, that building was.
Because there was a few points today where the Knicks were alive, and the Knicks went on the like 15-2 run in the fourth quarter, and that place was rocking.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
This Schroeder hit a big shot.
Schroeder hit a shot. Like what? Like, Tobias Harris hit a shot in the middle of the
Tobias hit a big shot too. Tobias hit a shot, and Schroeder.
Even with Schroeder hitting that big shot, we had opportunities. We had like 2 opportunities to hit threes, and we just couldn't make them. You know, so the opportunities were still there, even at like.
And I can't even be mad at the Mikal Bridges shot. Like that's he just missed. Like he just missed. Like it's I
can't sit there and be like, oh, Mikal can shoot that shot. Mikal's a good shooter. Like
it just missed. Like it happens. So like I'm not concerned. Game 4 is where I will get concerned.
Yeah, Game 4 is gonna be tough because again, I just don't think Cat is made for these moments at all. And we all were on the same page when this trade was made. That we're like, hey, except for Anthony, where we're like, this is a downgrade from last year's team. Cat, very much so. If Detroit is as much of a zoo as I think it's going to be, Cat might just completely shrink.
I don't know. I think that crowd tonight was.
It was good. Yeah, I thought at the end of the game, I thought the crowd was very much so there and alive in the final 2 minutes. It's just too many silly things kind of happened that killed the crowd that you can't stop.
And the Knicks were down 10 the majority of the game.
Tobias hitting a shot during that run, that's going to kill the crowd. Schroeder hitting that three, that's going to stop the crowd. The crowd's not going to cheer after a three like that. That literally won them the game.
And it was a big shot. It wasn't awful defense. I mean,
he was wide open. Brunson sagged off him a little bit.
He sagged off the pick. He sat off the pick. So, I mean, that was still pretty deep, though. I mean, it's not like I didn't expect him to make it when I was surprised he hit it.
I watched enough Dennis Schroeder this year to know that I wanted him traded from my team because he was making those shots. So I can tell you for one, I for one am not surprised at the Schroeder performance because I saw him in the Olympics this past season play really well and then come into Brooklyn before he got traded and play really well. So it's like I'm not surprised by this. He quieted the crowd. Tibbs needs to look at his big fella and be like, "Well, are you gonna hop on the plane to Detroit or what?"
I need JB Bickerstaff to turn to Tibbs and sit Schroeder down and bring Tim Hardaway's bum ass back in the game. I need Tim Hardaway's bum ass on the floor at all times. You know, I can believe it because he stinks. He missed so many open shots tonight. It was crazy. Crazy.
Definitely had us shook because if he would have hit any of those,
anything,
would have broke that game wide open.
And not only that, he was getting cooked on defense too.
Yeah, but
I need Tim Hardaway to play all game. Like, keep him out there, please.
Yeah, but again, the inverse is also true too as well. Like again, if OG hit 2 or 3 more, if Mikhail, same thing. You know, like if some of our guys hit a few more shots, that could have been the difference maker right there. You know, so again, to me,
it's 1-1.
Like, I'm not panicking. It's 1-1.
We outplayed them in game 1. We should have won game 1. They outplayed us tonight. They should have won tonight. Like Dylan, a 21-0 run.
I wouldn't say that. Like you guys outplayed them 1 quarter in that game.
They were never up by more than 6. Like it wasn't like.
Does that not like they were in control of game 1 until the 4th?
I never felt like they were. There was no point. There was no point.
You guys had the 21
there
point
was
run.
No point during game 1 where I thought the Knicks were going to lose that game. Like
the entire game up to that 21 point run, I thought you guys were going to lose this game.
I never thought the Knicks were going to lose that game.
Because I don't remember ever seeing this Tobias Harris show up.
Again.
Yeah, he dropped like 25 in game 1.
20-something. He easily scores 20.
He had a game last year for Philly against us in the first round where he went crazy and then vanished for the rest of the season. He did? Yes. He had a game where he had almost 30. Yes.
I don't remember that at all.
he had a game where he went off, and I
didn't pull that game up.
He scored more points in these 2 games than he did that entire series, and that you guys went 7, right? Or 6?
Because he almost scored 30 in the game I'm talking about.
Yeah, again, combined the 2 games today, he scored like 40. So he scored more points in this series so far than he did all of last year because he put up goose eggs.
Then maybe I don't know how much. I don't remember. I thought he averaged like 8
points a game that series.
But he had a game where he went off. I'm pretty sure it was game 5.
I don't remember him doing a goddamn thing in that series. But I mean, I'll take your word for it.
Let's see.
All I remember was Sixers fans just saying, "I can't wait for this nigga to get off this team."
Well, they hate him, so and they
have a good reason too.
Yeah, they should.
Mike,
him.
he did not score 20 points in a single game last year.
What was his high?
19.
What game? Game 5.
Game 5.
He said 19.
I distinctly remember him going off. In that
Mike, I'm looking at the game log right now. He had 19 points.
Who's that?
19 in game 5.
Tobias Harris's game 5 last year at the Garden. The game that they won.
For a guy making 35
I remember
a year.
Tyrese Maxey going fucking ballistic that game.
Tobias stinks, man.
Guard him. Guard him. Guard him. Because there ain't nobody scarier than Tobias Harris on teams that have no expectation. No expectation. Tobias Harris is horrifying. You put him on a contender, like this series here is going to get him traded to a contender, and then they're going to realize he stinks. He does it all the time. He did this in Orlando, went to the Clippers, got the playoffs. Man.
Whoa, Norman Powell. Whoa.
Got traded to Detroit, was putting up numbers.
Mike just casually interrupting the broadcast.
Well, Jamal Murray just casually picked up Norman Powell.
Yeah, Norman Powell.
For no reason.
I'm trying to see if Norman Powell just threw a punch.
Nah.
I don't know why Jamal Murray picked him up like that.
We can move on from the Knicks now. Can we talk about how much of a little menace that Chris Dunn has turned into?
Yes, he's turned into a very good defensive player. Menace is a good word. He's annoying them. Like this series, can we talk about game 1? Because
game 1 was wild. I saw somebody on Twitter.
They tried to make me miss the beginning of the Knicks.
Somebody on Twitter said that Russell Westbrook is the human embodiment of the item box in Mario Kart. And I don't think I've ever heard a more accurate representation because you literally don't know what you're going to get because he hit that clutch 3 in the fourth quarter. And then when presented that same opportunity in overtime, he just fucking gave the ball away. But then also went and made like the game-saving defensive play.
Like
he is an erratic human, and you never know what you're gonna get because I would give Russ that 3-point shot every time.
Yet I was not surprised that he hit it at all.
I'm not surprised while also being incredibly surprised at the same time, if that makes sense. Because you don't know.
Yeah, I am. Because I would still give him that shot even after making that shit. I'd still give him that shot every time.
I would probably still let him shoot.
Yeah, same here. I'd still let him shoot.
Like that game was incredible.
Because he's probably gonna miss the next 6.
It was such a great game. Like, say what you want about James Harden. James Harden had a phenomenal game 1. Phenomenal game 1.
Yes, Mike. Mike, say it. Say it. Say it, Mike. Say it.
And where did his tag partner go?
Oh my God, we're talking about James Harden, Mike.
Because his tag partner kind of poofed and disappeared in the fourth quarter in overtime, didn't he?
You mean Kawhi, who has like who has 27 already, and we're like midway through the third?
Kawhi had a big shot in the fourth quarter as well. In the fourth quarter, Kawhi hit a big shot.
He hit one shot and then disappeared, and that's why James Harden had to take over. And James Harden did take over. Kudos to James Harden.
But you said he can't take over.
I laid this out for you. He's going to have the game where he goes crazy, and you're like, "Oh, there's James." Oh. Then we get to a pressure game, and he starts doing dumb shit.
To be fair, Mike,
promise you,
he's also having a good game too.
I promise you, by the time we get to 5, 6, and 7 in this series, he's going to start doing dumb shit. And you're going to be like,
I thought you said it was game. I thought you said it was game 4
No,
or
Mike
game
said-
3
Mike
or
said
some
it was
shit. You're
every
gonna
other
start
game.
doing
Mike
done.
said it was every other game.
It's every other
Yeah,
game.
you said it was like every other game.
But when we get to the
Now it's game 5.
when we get to the clutch games, I promise you, he will disappear. The key is going to be
Man, it's the
Kawhi
playoffs.
decides he
Every
wants
game
to
is a
play
clutch
or not.
game,
What
man.
Mike's not talking about right now when it came to James Harden's tag team partner, he's also being very quiet about how Kawhi has only missed one shot this game
Yeah,
and has 27 points.
Kawhi's having
Like Kawhi is hooping now. He is hooping.
Bang, bang, bang.
What?
Shit like that. Shit like that.
Bro.
Shit like that. Shit like that.
You saw Chris go to tag.
Bang, bang, bang.
Why did Chris Dunn square up? Because, like,
Again, menace.
and, all right, Dylan. All right, so we get it.
Menace.
We get it. But no, Kawhi, that's fine. I want to see. Let's see it. Let's see it. Kawhi doesn't have the extended history that James Harden does of disappearing.
Kawhi doesn't have a history of disappearing. That's like a
Yeah, he doesn't have a history.
Why is it
What?
all-time great playoff?
Wait, where is this coming
What are
from?
we doing?
Well, compared to James, yeah, it's night and day. It's night and day. It's not even close.
Like, when has Kawhi Leonard ever not have a good playoff performance? Like, what are we
Not
doing?
talking injury. Like I'm talking about when he's on the court, when he's healthy and on the court. He's played very
We're
well.
not going to disrespect a 2-time Final MVP like that.
Mm-hmm. That has given up a
Look at Chris
3-1
Dunn. Look at
lead.
that menace, Chris Dunn.
You have a 3-1 lead a couple times. Oh yeah, Dylan, yeah, and he's playing too.
He's
That
playing.
was a terrible pass.
Also, Ben Simmons can't have cornrows. We said this before we started. Cornrows is
Ben
bad.
Simmons with cornrows is
Nasty word.
crazy.
Does he have cornrows?
Yeah, he has
Yes, he
fucking
does,
cornrows.
dude.
It's
It's
I
cornrows.
looked at it, I was like, is he balding or are those just cornrows?
Okay, Joker, big boy
So-
basketball.
Mike, Jokic missing those free throws in the fourth quarter of game 1. Did that take away his clutch gene?
No.
What about Dennis Schroeder tonight? Hit that
No.
3 and then miss that free throw.
That was the most surprising thing of the night because I just knew he was going to hit.
Because at
both
first
of
I was
them.
like, clutch gene, Mike, and then he missed. I was like, oh, never mind.
That's the first one. I was like, and then the crowd was like, "Ah, here we go." I was sitting here like, he's not gonna miss the second one. Like Dennis Schroeder, like, do y'all not know who Dennis Schroeder is? He's not gonna miss. Like, I don't know what happened in the first one, but he's not gonna miss.
Doesn't have the
second
clutch
one.
gene, Mike.
I promise you.
He made that 3
you're-
that missed that free throw. No clutch gene.
You're being dramatic.
Mike, anybody missing a free throw or a shot at the end of the game, you know I'm
being
coming for you.
dramatic.
I'm gonna sit there and be like, yo, no clutch gene.
Well, look who it is.
Batman.
Look.
Knicks in 6. Fully agree.
Batman.
Look
Fully
who it
agree.
is.
Knicks in 6, baby.
Batman.
Popping up out of nowhere. So what do you say,
Got some
fellas?
explaining to do, French.
And they owe us a wheel spin if I ain't mistaken, too.
Can we
Do us
also talk about the ass whooping we
Mark.
witnessed in Oklahoma City yesterday?
Y'all ready to put some respect on OKC? Well, everybody in here knows OKC is pretty good.
Anthony stays so high in
except-
Oklahoma City.
Except for Anthony. But, like...
It's one game.
Listen, that would apply to every other series except for this one.
Like, I told you they might get one because I respect Ja too much. And to be honest with you, I respect Ja enough to say that they're going to lose by less than 10 in game 2. they will be in.
I thought you were going to say you're going to give them 2.
No,
Bro, the rest of that Grizzlies team,
quit.
they quit the second quarter.
Yeah, they quit. I could tell they quit. You could tell they quit, and you could tell Ja was looking at them like, "Did this y'all quit?" Like
It's like that the quote from John Starks in the winning time. 30 for 30. Y'all dudes really just did this. That team quit, and the scariest thing, the reason why I'm like that series is way over is I watched Alex Caruso, Lou Dort, and J-Dub run a fucking muck.
run them.
They
off.
robbed the bank. They went in that shit, and the Grizzlies don't have an answer for that. Those three dudes are fucking unreal.
So
And
that
Shai just didn't really have a great game because he didn't need to.
because he didn't need to.
He didn't need to.
That
was the part that was even scary. The fact that he did.
That was OKC's ceiling. So we just saw OKC's ceiling, and if OKC can manufacture that and do that 15 more times, they're going to win the title.
Oh, there's nobody in the West. Well, no,
There's no one in the Boston.
I think
can't beat that.
Boston.
Okay, all right. Now we're absolutely getting carried away by one game.
That's a lot.
All right, it's one thing to just no, but it's one thing to dismiss Memphis. If you wanted, but hold on, if you want to dismiss Memphis, that's fine. But again, to just say like, okay, just got to do it 15 more times and nobody can hang with. Come on, that's reaching a little bit.
That's a lot.
We can't say and act like they're going to do.
Because if they had to match up with either of these Clippers or Nuggets, it's a different series, right? If they had to match up with the Warriors, different series. Do I think OKC can win all of those series? Yes. Do I think Boston would have something to say? Yes. Do I think Cleveland would have something to say? Yes. But if Oklahoma City is consistent and plays exactly like they did now, it is scary for everybody. It is scary because that is a very fucking good team.
If they play like that, no one is going to beat them.
And not only was it their starters, they went to their bench when they were up fucking 50, and it didn't stop. While Memphis was still playing their starters, they had fucking Isaiah Joe and fucking all these other guys still going sick.
That's what I'm saying. If they play like that, no one's going to beat them. I don't expect them to play like that.
Coaching them right now. He's in a long one. He's in for a long one. He's in for some sleepless nights. He's in a tough one.
Yeah. OKC's not going to play like that every night. That's realistically, they're not going to play like that every night. But if they play anywhere close to that, they're going to be. Because
the thing is, even if they don't play like this,
SGA is going to play much better.
There we go.
And that's what I'm saying. No one will beat them if they play like that because he's going to add to it. So it's just a matter of where the balance is.
Defensively, I don't think Memphis has an answer for anybody. They just don't have an answer for anybody.
Anybody.
Memphis just wants to score.
Anybody. They were just so good, and then they were just running. They were just running them out of the gym. At one point, J-Dub was just cherry picking because they were just getting turnover after turnover, just ripping the ball out of their fucking hands on the drive. Like it was just.
But we also have to factor in again. What's the likelihood of Morant, Bane, and Jackson Jr. just all having off nights like that? It's not likely.
Shit comes at you fast, man.
At least two of them are going to go off.
It's different. I don't think Desmond Bane's like great, right? I think he's really good. I think he's solid. Solid third option, like cool. Like I don't expect him to be a fucking major factor in this series because they don't have the role players to compete. They just don't. And that's like the scary thing because OKC has all of the role players. All of their role players are really fucking good at playing their role. Who's Memphis's like key role player that can really help them compete? Scottie Pippen Jr.
Zach
Edey, who was just a liability out there.
He's not supposed to be.
There was no answer for nothing. And in these playoff series, if you want to win, so you need your role players to come to play, right? You need them to come to play. I just don't think Memphis has a role player who could do it. Who could really
The team
take
is
that
not
step
ready.
up. Yeah, they're not ready. And for Ja sooner or later is going to be like, I need to go. Because that team won't be able to do it.
I can't even see Ja going somewhere else right now, honestly.
Right now, no. I'd say in like 2 years, you probably see him be like, okay, if we keep just losing in the first round, then I need to go somewhere else. Because this Desmond Bain, Jaren Jackson Jr. trio and everybody else that we can't fucking find a role for, not working. They just got a real horrendous matchup. They just got the worst drawing of anything that they could have gotten.
Man,
They ran to a buzzsaw.
That's the OKC. It's a bad matchup in OKC. They're clicking at a high level right now, and no team, especially that's a playing team right now, is equipped to face them.
They're just a buzzsaw, and sometimes that's just okay.
And do you not think fatigue was an issue too? Because again, OKC was very well rested. The Grizz literally just came off of playing a Friday night game.
If anything, the OKC should have done worse because it should have been rusty.
They're both young.
Yeah, rust isn't always a problem though. Sometimes.
I can't do anything to give Memphis any type of credit or any type of leeway to like. I don't care how.
No, that's not a reason for them to get dog walk like that.
I was about to say they didn't just get dog walk; they got the fucking shit kicked out of them. Like fatigue is not enough to be like, "Hey, we lost by fucking 50 in a playoff game."
Yeah, that's inexcusable.
For that. There's no excuse for that. It's one thing like, okay, we lost by like 15 to 20. We're fatigued. We'll get some rest. We'll be out there next time. These guys were in the third quarter just like spaced out and slack jawed. Like they were just like, like they were like, this is really happening.
I think they were just in shock. They were just in perpetual shock the whole game.
And Oklahoma City was like, we were going to keep going. We are going to keep going. It's just two different mindsets. When you're a team that's like, we are competing for a championship versus a team that's like, we want to steal one. We just don't want to get swept. Two completely different mindsets. And again, you fired your coach a week before the playoffs. I'm not sure.
Yeah, that doesn't help either.
What the rationale is behind that, but you will surely notice it.
What do you guys think? As far as like for the Lakers matchup with the Timberwolves, I'm switching gears now because I think that series may be over. The OKC Memphis, I think that series is over before it even got started. But,
yeah.
Before the Lakers and Minnesota series. What's up with that? I watching that game, even though Luka was having a good game offensively, I didn't even feel like he was on the court. It felt like he wasn't there.
It was very weird.
Well, didn't Minnesota hit like 23s? I mean, I didn't watch the game, but Minnesota was like lights out.
1 threes. It's one of those things where it's like, well, shit. Nothing we can do. But like, the role players for the Lakers need to show up. Like you can't have all like Jaden McDaniels has 25, Anthony Edwards has 22, Randall 16, Naz Reid with fucking 23. You can't have that, and then your next high score outside of Luka is LeBron with 19 and Reeves with 16, and then nobody else has double figures.
Yeah.
Dalton needs to step up. What the fuck is Gabe Vincent?
I mean, Gabe Vincent.
He's where he's been at all season. Who needs to show up is Rui. And who else need to show up is Finney.
Dalton Connect needs to show up.
They need one of them to show up, James. They need one of them to show up. LeBron will play better, and Austin Reeves has to play better.
Reeves can't score 16 points.
They need both of them to show up for Reeves to have a good game. They need Reeves.
Yeah.
They need Rui and Finney Smith to both have a decent game for Reeves to have a good game.
Jaden McDaniels can't have fucking 25 points.
No, that can't happen.
That can't happen. I'm not saying he's not capable of doing it, but like you can't. The role player cannot fucking have 25 points.
25. Like if
you're going to win every game if you have a role player who's going to score that.
If he's scoring 25 a game, Minnesota's going to win a lot of games. Like,
hopefully this was a wake up for JJ to be like, hey, figure it out. Call timeout sooner.
They didn't look concerned. They looked like they were like, okay. That looked like the Lakers were like, okay, we kind of slept walk through here, and Minnesota was like, we're ready.
So who wins game 2?
I think Lakers bounce back. LeBron has a history of losing game 1s a lot.
Yeah, I also told you this last week, Anthony, that LeBron has a history of losing.
And you know what his record is in game 2s after losing game 1?
I do not. Do you have a stat for me?
12 and 11.
It's a winning record.
So it's not that great.
It's a winning record.
So it's definitely possible that they can lose game 2.
Listen,
it's possible they could lose game 2. It's possible they win game 2. Same thing. It's a coin toss. I don't think they're going to have a piss poor team performance like they did in game 1, but you gotta figure it out.
We've only got one more chance before this game to say it, so I'm gonna knock it out now. Ant Man, Iron Man, Joanna Man, Lakers. Lakers.
I do want to pivot for 1 second though, because Mike, I do want you to acknowledge how you feel about Tyrese Halliburton real quick. I do. I just want to hear that.
I hate that motherfucker.
Voice, corny ass, like Dylan's favorite Dylan isms. Too much dip on the chip. Too much. Tyrese Halliburton really is out here walking and talking like he's a top 5 player in the league. Like he really be out here talking to these dudes like that. Like
that's the suburb tough guy mentality.
Bro,
hey,
like
shout out to Dave. Shout out to Dave not playing any of it.
Because I'm telling you right now, if Dame comes back and coaches them, Dame is getting on him for a week. Because
I hope so. Because really, honestly, Halliburton actually owns the Bucks, so Dame needs to show up and do his thing, because if not, it's gonna be playing. The Cup, Emirates Cup, all over again.
I can't believe we finally get to retire the Tony Snell meme of him putting up nothing but zeros in 22 minutes played for Kyle Kuzma. I never thought that Tony Snell meme was going to get retired this fast. Boy,
he's probably happy as fuck too.
Shout out to Doc Rivers for sticking up for his player, even though he didn't take the blame. Like everything that Doc said was true. The end of that sentence is supposed to be, I've got to coach better and get Kyle more shots, because he's right. Like you can't score if you don't shoot. And Kyle going 0 for 2 in 20-something minutes is unacceptable. Like we got to figure out a way to get him a couple more shots up, like something, like run an out of bounds play for him or something. So that's coaching. So Doc is right. Like it's tough to score when you don't shoot. But Doc, it's your job to get him shots. It's your job to call a play for him. So Figure it
It's
out.
almost
Doc.
like Doc Rivers is still like getting opportunities based off a title he won in 2008.
I think this is Doc's last job. I think this is no. I'm serious.
I know.
How many times has that been said?
No,
I don't. I'm sorry. How many times has that been said?
I wasn't surprised that he got. I was surprised he got the Milwaukee job. So, like the way the Milwaukee thing happened was surprising. But I knew Doc wasn't going to stay in the booth for more than a year. I already knew that. He's still too good of a coach for somebody to not go hire him. But going out sad like that, like unless he decides to try and go teach one of these young teams, that's a fact.
Listen, you
can't tell me Doc's not a good coach. Like when does his teams underachieve? When do his teams underachieve?
Every time he's in the playoffs.
He routinely loses to better teams.
He routinely blows series he's winning.
He does, but it's not like
That's
he's
underachieving.
losing.
That's underachieving.
No, he overachieves a lot, and they just lose to better teams because he can't close.
You overachieve when you get up 3-1 and then you lose.
But when does Doc's teams get upset? Like that's what you don't see him losing a series.
Listen, hold on. We can't do that because out of pure respect, you're not gonna disrespect your coach like that. These guys are not gonna just flat out be pissed off on the sidelines because Doc blew a fucking another game. Like these guys are professionals, and you have to respect what Doc has done in the league. But you can't sit here and say these guys aren't mad. Because I'd be fucking pissed.
If Doc
there's no way Joel Embiid doesn't feel some type of way about Doc Rivers.
I don't blame Doc for Philly at all. Them dudes choked. Doc, I can't.
Who was the coach?
Dylan. Doc can't make James Harden make shots. Doc can't make Joel Embiid make shots. Like you telling me that
it's
the
your job
Sixers
to put them in better positions.
I don't know what else he can do. They were in positions. They were up on Boston. They should have beat Boston. And them dudes just decided to pack it up and go home. And I don't know what else. There's a fine line. There's a fine line.
But
some of it is
on?
Doc, but some of it's on Doc, and some of it these are professionals, and we gotta look at them and be like, yo, y'all gotta play better.
Sidebar, Kawhi Leonard still has only missed one shot. That's
cool. It's cool. It's also game 2.
Oh, but game 1
It's cool. You're having a great game tonight.
Because also only game 2.
Also only game 2.
He's balling. We love that.
So, I mean, don't you have the Clippers winning this series?
I do.
So what happens if they lose?
Then they lose. The fuck?
Are you gonna blame Kawhi?
If Kawhi's playing like this and they lose, I can't blame Kawhi. Honestly, he has one turnover and has missed one shot. I don't know what I could do to blame Kawhi. I'd be like, hey,
and what if he
one single shot, Kawhi.
What if he has a bad fourth quarter?
It is currently the fourth quarter. So we will see.
We will see.
We will see.
Likely the fourth. Yes.
I could ask new superstar Norman Powell to do more. Because, he's 2 for fucking 10 right now. I could ask for a role player to step up.
So are you going to hold Ty Lue to the same standard that you hold Doc Rivers? Because what has Ty Lue won outside of his one championship with LeBron James?
It hasn't been as long.
Yeah, it definitely hasn't been since 2008. It's been 9 years.
Hasn't lost in the same fashion as Doc.
If Ty Lue keeps this up and eventually blows a bunch of 3-1 leads,
so it's the fact that it was 3-1. So if they'd have got swept, they'd have been okay.
No. But again, if you're blowing 3-1 leads, that's a problem. If you're getting swept, that's also a problem. But it's also been Doc has not really been successful in the playoffs, since those Celtics teams where everything kind of lined up for him perfectly.
So again, I ask you, what has Ty Lue done since everything lined up for him perfectly with LeBron James and they won the championship?
Oh no!
He's been to one conference finals since then.
I will hold Ty Lue accountable.
It's been 10 years. Comes.
How long has it been for Doc?
About 15.
Maybe
20.
even
no,
longer.
not 20.
It's
no,
been
it's
longer
not 20.
than 15.
It's not 20 because it was 08. So 15, like 15, 16, 8. I can't do math. It's midnight. I don't know. 17.
It's more. It's more.
17. So
Ty Lue's got maybe 3 years before I'm starting looking at him like
12 years.
It's still less time than I'm looking at fucking Doc Rivers right now. Because eventually, like, I'm a big proponent of if you're not winning, you eventually got to move on, right? You can't just keep running shit back. You have to fire somebody eventually, right? Eventually, the Clippers are going to have to move on. Like, it is what it is. And then he'll go to a team that's not very good, make them solid, and then we'll see what happens from there.
Because we know Ty Lue's a good coach, right?
Ty Lue's a good coach.
But we don't know that Doc's a good coach.
I don't know Doc's a good coach anymore. I've seen enough Doc Rivers timeout huddle conversations to understand that he really don't be doing shit. Like, you can't tell me that Doc really is out here doing shit. Like, I can't sit here and be like, yo, I'm watching fucking Frank Vogel or whoever the fuck it is, Rick Carlisle actually doing shit in a fucking in a fucking huddle, and then I got Doc Rivers, shoot the ball, run.
I will always defend Russ because I would take Russ on my team any day. Any day, because all he does is hoop. All he does is compete. And he's still very effective. Because I don't know how exactly Denver is down 1 with the ball right now, but Denver is down 1 with the ball. And I just saw Russ hit a 3 and get a crazy pass to Joker.
Listen, Russ is also why fucking homeboy got fired. So
who?
What's his face?
Malone?
Yeah.
We don't know that.
No, that's literally.
Well, actually, no.
We do know that because all the reports are coming out saying
because the GM wanted that kid on the bench to play instead of Russ, and Russ is better than him.
Well, no,
and Mike Malone was like, "No, fuck that, no."
It's a matter of it's not about him playing; it's the treatment that he was giving Russ. So, I don't know.
Russ is better than him.
Oh,
Russ is he's a first ballot Hall of Famer. Yes.
Yes, but he's in the twilight of his career.
And you're going to still treat Russ different.
No. You treat him like everybody else. The only person on that team that deserves person on that team that deserves any type of special treatment is Joker. That's the only person. And guess what? I'm yelling at him too.
Yeah. You think Mike Malone wasn't yelling at them?
I don't think from what I heard, he was giving Russ some special treatment. He was very favorable to Russ. And that's bullshit. Oh, there he is again. Even though he missed the last one he took.
Dang.
Again, I'm letting Russ shoot that every fucking chance.
Dang.
And that's exactly why he's fucking wide open.
Dang. Can't wait to the next one this series. I can't wait. I can't wait. I can't wait.
No.
That was good defense. I I won't kill James Harden for that turnover. That was good defense. Russ, gotcha. That's a foul. Okay. Russ is going to win because clearly Ty Lue's defense is let Russ beat us. And Russ is going to mess around and beat them
Or
time.
Or
Russ is going to lose the game.
yes. Those are the
see.
odds I'd be willing to go at because it's really anybody but Murray and Joker.
We're going to see. We're going to see.
Let's make that man who is
right now, Russ is
known,
up 1-0. Right now,
who
Russ
is
up
known to be
1-0.
erratic. Let him win the game.
Russ is up 1-0.
Russ has, throughout his career, lost playoff series on his own merit. On his own merit.
Russ has also won the playoff series on his own merit.
When? On his own merit? When?
Yes.
When?
He carried
on his own merit.
So, because now you're going to nitpick. Because
I'm going to say,
you said won the series or won games?
Well, we know Russ has won games.
Russ has won games, but a playoff series? What playoff series has Russ single-handedly won?
Yeah, they lost to Houston that year, Mike.
Well, let's take a look.
Because every team that Russ has had like significant success on, he has not been the reason.
Except the year he won MVP.
Who would they face in the first round?
The MVP year?
Yeah, who they faced in the first round? Weren't they like the 7th seed?
I thought it was the Rockets they faced in the first round.
Houston, and they lost.
Houston, and they lost. Game 7, they lost, right? Or they lost 7 games, I thought.
Yeah, I think they lost in 5 or something.
They lost to Utah.
Ew. That's even worse. That's even worse.
And he had a ridiculous series.
And they lost. But they won that series on his merit, right? I can't, even if you go back to the OKC days, I can't remember a series that he was the reason and not Kevin Durant.
Well, he was a big part of the reason.
He was part of the reason, but he wasn't the reason. Durant was the reason in on those teams. We could go to Washington, where Russ was the only person who showed up in that series.
They lost.
And they lost.
I guess Russ is just
don't extreme it, Mike.
That's what we're doing. That's what we're doing. Russ is never the reason they win. He's just a side piece. So I guess he's just a great side piece.
He's
just
a
great side
Robin.
He's just a great side piece. Just happens to be there all the time.
If you take a look at that OKC Big Three, I have series where James Harden has won.
Stat pattern.
Has won on his merit, but I don't got nothing for Russ winning on his merit. I got Durant on multiple teams winning playoff series on his merit. I don't know. I don't know. Russ, when he's the guy, they just don't win playoff series.
They just don't. They just lose.
They do. They do.
Lose.
Remember that one time Dame hit a fucking walk-off on that team? I know it was on Paul George.
Nope, it was on Russ. It was on Russ.
I didn't say that.
Russ is the reason they lost that series.
He was the main reason.
Yep, he was the main. Russ.
Besides Paul George not guarding Dame at fucking 45 feet.
Russ.
Hey, on his merit, right?
Russ.
He's never been that guy.
Russ is the reason the Clippers lost too, right? Russ. Russ.
You could blame Russ for some Lakers guys getting fired.
Russ.
Everywhere Russ goes, a guy loses their job. What happened to Scotty Brooks?
Everywhere Scotty Brooks got fired.
Russ.
Just a loser.
Scotty Brooks twice. Russ. Don't want to hear nothing.
Russ stinks.
No. There's a reason why Jalen Rose used to call him Furious Styles. Because he never knew what the fuck he was going to get. Never knew what he was going to get.
I love Russ, but
He stinks.
On his own merit, he doesn't have enough. But he is great. He is an MVP.
Yeah, he's a Hall of Famer.
Hall of Famer.
First ballot.
Mhm.
But in the
Kawhi
twilight
for three. Kawhi Leonard. Kawhi Leonard is cooking.
If he'd have missed that one.
Oh my God. Clutch Sheen gone.
I'd have walked out. They have to win this game. They have to win this game.
My Clippers in 6, man.
They have to win this game. They can't let Kawhi have a good game like this and not win.
Well, they just scored again, so they're up by 4. If the Nuggets lose this series, what do you think happens to the team?
They're probably going to be in hell for a little bit.
I mean, we don't know what's going to happen because it's going to
Do you
depend
think-
Well, they're going to be in
GM
cap
is.
hell for sure. They're going to have to get rid of like Aaron Gordon or Jamal Murray.
Because they don't want to get rid of Michael Porter Jr.
No, Markel, it was Russ's fault. You missed it. It was just Russ's fault.
He didn't want nothing on his own merit. Never as the guy. Always the bridesmaid, never the bride.
Just an accessory. That's all. Russ
Always
is.
the bridesmaid, never the bride.
It's just a nice accessory.
Always the bridesmaid, never the
Just-
bride.
Just like tints on a car. That's
When
all
did Russ get
is.
married? Let me know.
Tints.
Which one of
on
these
a
teams?
car.
Because listen, love Russ, but come on now.
Tints on a car.
Oh, they got Jokic on the perimeter doing fucking double teams.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Oh, my God. How do you miss that?
Fucking Chris Dunn. He's Pat Bev reincarnated.
I wish we was able to put the game up, but we get flagged.
We
I
get
know.
shut down immediately.
I
They
know.
WWE shut down our OTTR WrestleMania preview show because he showed the graphics from SmackDown of the card, and they kicked us off of YouTube. Kicked us off of YouTube mid conversation. Wow.
Yeah,
Oh.
that's tough. Remember
Wow.
when WWE was fucking with us for a little bit?
Oh,
Because
yeah,
Cody
they
Rhodes
kicked us
Royal
off
Rumble?
from Cody Rumble. I think me and Dill, I think we had it up for 15 seconds, 20 seconds. We didn't even show the whole whoa, and pow.
Fucking Vince. You
Just
fucking turd.
terrible.
You shriveled up raisin. How dare you? Keep the little man down.
Terrible.
Oh well, fucking dork. He's getting what he deserves for that.
Your mustache is hideous.
And you're a bitch.
Wow.
And a nasty old man.
Nasty man. Mike, how was your rest of the week?
It was good. I thought it was a solid B+ show. Both nights.
That's being nice.
Yesterday, night 2 was so good until the main event.
I thought
So
night two
good
was-
until the main
I
event.
thought
It was
night
the- it
two
was-
better.
Night 2 was the opposite of night 1 for me.
Yeah, where night 1 literally was like it's an okay
Night one-
show,
night-
and then the main event was awesome.
Yeah, and then night two was like, this is a really good fucking show. And main event was trash.
So that's
It just got
what you
weird.
get.
I hate when
My
shit
favorite,
gets weird.
my three favorite matches was obviously the Roman Reigns one. Um, I really liked the Sin City Street fight with Drew McIntyre and what's his face. I thought that was a really good match.
It was
It was
good.
good.
I thought Logan Paul and AJ Styles had a really good match too as well. Those are like my three favorite.
I thought the Rhea Ripley Bianca Belair Io Sky match
Was
was
amazing.
Unreal.
Amazing.
That was a great match.
I thought
Like,
the
that
Fatal
was-
Four Way was also amazing. Like, but yeah, the
It's-
girls triple threat was so good.
Mike, how do you feel about Jade?
We're at a point now where like we can't call her a rookie no more. Like she's still like
She's still
I've
so
never
mean.
yeah, like I've never wrestled, so it's hard, for me to criticize. But like I can watch and tell she's still thinking through every spot. So like it's still kind of robotic. Like the stuff that she does is amazing.
Unreal.
But like I said, it feels choreographed to her. Like I can see her mind going from spot to spot to spot, and it doesn't flow. Like I could tell Naomi was carrying her in that match. Like,
Naomi was unbelievable.
Naomi is so
This version
good.
of Naomi is my favorite version of Naomi.
Oh, this version of Naomi's gonna cook.
This is the best version of Naomi that we've ever gotten. She is so much better than she was 10 years ago at being a heel.
That's saying a lot because she was really good 10 years ago.
Well, not really.
Not as a heel.
Like
She's a great
athletically in the
babyface.
ring.
Oh, you're talking about as a heel. Oh, as a heel.
As a heel, man, she was not very good. But boy, she was not very good, but she has turned into this fucking like authentic, like believable heel.
And it's gonna cook. Like I said, it's gonna cook. I wish they had more girls on the roster. I hate
the women showed out. Well,
because she should be a mid-card champion, but Chelsea Green also, who I can't believe they had nothing for Chelsea.
Chelsea's run as a U.S. champion has
been very good.
Quietly, one of my favorite things in wrestling. She's so fucking good. She is so fucking good. It's gonna be a shame when she loses that thing. But
to someone who's not gonna do anything with it.
But Naomi also is kind of above the mid-card belt.
She is. She's not a mid-card girl.
Oh, what a shot.
Yeah, that's a good shot. They have to win this game. They have to win this game.
The only way you give it to Naomi is if you really want this belt to kind of mean something. And I think putting it on somebody great shot, who is above it will help elevate it for a little bit.
Fucking Jamal Murray.
He was wide open, Dylan. That's not a great shot. He was wide open.
Made it. Good shot.
Wide open.
Yeah, we could have made those shots tonight.
That was bad defense.
Speak for
That's
yourself.
what that was. That was bad defense.
Speak for yourself, Anthony.
I'm talking about the Knicks.
He had to force that. Oh.
Why did he force that?
Well, there was no time on the clock. Oh, Michael Porter Jr. Is he okay?
Is that overpower? Yeah.
Yeah. Michael Porter Jr. hurt his shoulder.
Steak ass.
I love this whole Naomi presentation. Like her with the new music and everything. I was like, this is awesome. This is so sick. I love it. Give me all of this.
It was good. That's good. I hope they do something with it. Or send her to Raw.
Because Raw needs so much help on the women's side.
It's terrible. That's why Era's Intercontinental title reign has been horrendous.
which sucks
It's been horrendous.
because she's good.
You'd
You're
never
just not
know it.
putting her with fucking anybody who's worth a damn to like do anything. I don't know if you saw anything on Raw tonight.
No, please don't
I
spoil
will
it.
not say anything that alludes to anything. So yes, but
I was hoping that
I
we
love
would be
Lyra.
done
She's
and I'd be watching. I'd be watching Raw right now. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to get through all. I'm lying. I'm gonna stay up and watch the whole thing. I'm gonna stay up and watch the whole thing and be miserable tomorrow.
Not every woman's match at WrestleMania was good, though. I'll say that much.
I also
That Tiffany Stratton match was awful.
I also did not like that match.
I'm sitting there
I've seen a lot.
watching some of these
Matches.
and the Charlotte Tiffany match came on, and Janice is like, "You look like you hate this match." I was like, "You could tell neither one of them really cares about this." Like, kudos to Tiffany because Tiffany took an ass whooping.
Yeah.
Tiffany took an ass whooping, and Charlotte was trying her. Charlotte was really trying her, and Tiffany just didn't respond at all with any receipts or anything else, any stiff shots. She did her thing, got out of there. Neither one, like Charlotte had no intention of like really putting her over. She was like, I just kind of did the job and got out of there. That's when, like, I hate when shit gets too personal and it doesn't work because then you legitimately don't like each other. Where it goes from let's try to put on a good product to I don't even know if I'm really going to protect you. Because that's how it kind of felt.
Like the match just, and I still don't like Tiffany as a baby face. Like Charlotte aside, I don't like her as a baby face because no.
Oh, they called a foul. Okay.
Oh, that's an offensive foul.
That's a fucking flop. That was a fucking flop, Mike.
Dylan, you can't throw your shoulder into him though. Whether or not he fell like that because he can't
Mike,
do that.
He watches slow-mo replay. He acted like he got elbowed in the fucking face.
It's a flop.
That's why that doesn't get called as an offensive foul. Because he fucking flopped.
That's a flop.
And I saw it right away. I was like, no shot. Jokic is gonna fall over like he got fucking shot from the top of the arena off of a fucking hard shoulder to the stomach. Stop it. So I'm glad Tiffany and Charlotte's done. Move on. Give me something else. I need Tiffany to be the center of the universe and a heel. But I feel like we're gonna get too many heel champions, and
we have all heel champions right now.
EO
and EO, and I guess Early, I guess,
and Jim and Jay
and Jay.
Everybody else is bad guys.
It was a heel mania.
Oh, Lyra. Okay, we got more. We got some babyface champions, but everybody else is fucking heel.
And they're all on Raw.
Yeah.
Lyra,
well, whatever
Jay,
Cena is.
He's still
Cena's gonna be on every show.
No, I looked at.
He's gonna be on fucking part timer.
I looked at his schedule. He's gonna be on. He's gonna do Raw this week, Raw next week, and then he's SmackDown. So Netflix can say goodbye.
Kawhi Leonard.
Good shot, Kawhi.
Good shot, Kawhi. Shut up.
You see, I give him credit.
Good shot, Kawhi. You begrudgingly give credit.
I give credit when credit.
Oh, Kawhi. Oh, with the steal.
That was a bad pass. Oh, I can't wait.
What a game for Kawhi Leonard.
I've seen this before too with this Clippers franchise. And like,
the Clippers as a whole, yeah.
And then they go home and then they
who coached those Clippers teams?
Ty Lue.
Well, okay. Well, this Clippers team has a history. Clippers team does have a history. But before Ty Lue, I've seen it a few other places.
What the hell was that? That's all. Yeah.
He missed the 3, Mike. Does he have the clutch gene?
Shut up.
Does Jokic have the clutch gene, Mike? I have seen him now in back-to-back games with the game on the line, miss free throws and a 3 at the end of the game. Does he have the clutch gene? You know who
Clippers in
has it?
6.
Kawhi Leonard. Clutch gene. Look at him. Look at that clutch gene.
Clippers
right
in
there.
6.
Nothing but backboard.
Clippers doing a lot of celebrating.
Denver Nuggets.
Celebrating.
Denver Nuggets. Golden Nuggets. Chicken McNuggets. Hell yeah. Shout out to Kawhi Leonard.
Shout out to Kawhi. Great game tonight.
Jokic with a triple-double and no clutch gene and a loss.
What a night for Dylan. Knicks lose.
I'm so disingenuous because I fucking love Jokic. I fucking love Jokic. But just throwing Mike's favorite shit at him is great. Clutch gene, it's real. Was it real tonight? Was it real tonight? I don't know.
It was because you saw Kawhi.
But what about Jokic?
Mike, I'm telling you right now, this is coming back to Denver 3-1 Clippers.
There you go, Dylan. That's what I needed to hear.
I don't.
That's what I wanted to hear.
Yes.
Right there.
Anthony doesn't know how to shut the fuck up.
Yes.
Anthony, when you root for the same team I'm rooting for, I'm gonna need you to respectfully and politely shut the fuck up.
Yes.
Because you are such a fucking jinx. I need you to fucking stop.
Oh, really? I would. So like I jinxed the Eagles, right?
Bro,
did y'all say I jinxed the Eagles?
Fucking 40.
Wait. Oh, wait, hold on. Didn't I jinx the Eagles and jinx them out of the Super Bowl?
Bro, how?
Then James said I jinxed the Knicks in Game 1 too.
How many times? Anthony, like you have.
Why are we not answering questions?
You have such a bad record; it doesn't matter.
Dylan, why are we not answering questions, Dylan?
A broke clock is right.
Why are we not answering questions?
You were right.
Why are we not answering questions?
You were right about the Eagles. I answered your question. Now back to what I was saying. A broke clock.
And it's also the magnitude of the situation too. They won the Super Bowl.
Chuck's
parlay. So how did I not jinx the Eagles? Oh wow, I did it.
Great. Do you remember who you had winning the Super Bowl the year before?
I don't remember. It wasn't the Raiders.
And it was not the team that won either. So, again, if we're going just off of Super Bowls, I think you have, in the 4 years we've been doing this podcast, you have correctly guessed the winner once. That is 25%.
Sounds better than 0.
I will take the odds against you every time.
If a team goes to the Super Bowl 4 times and they only win once, that's still a success.
It's not the same team.
If you are wondering, Anthony, that year that Dylan's talking about, you had Buffalo versus San Francisco.
Oh, such a horrible projection right there.
Remember when Anthony said that Brock Purdy was going to fucking win MVP that one time?
That was the same year.
I know. And,
well, let's not act like that. Let's not act like that. Let's not act like that. Let's not like act dumb and act like that was like a bad prediction when like half of SportsCenter was predicting him to win MVP too as well. What messed him up? What messed him up was that he shit the bed in that Christmas game against Baltimore. That's what screwed him up. Let's not act like he just wasn't in the front runner.
He didn't get a single vote.
Like you
we're arguing
again. I literally just explained it.
That wasn't
I literally just explained it just now.
No,
it was the year that year he picked Deshaun Watson.
Oh boy, that's even worse.
Wait, I thought I picked Purdy that year.
No, you picked Purdy. Like you made a bet with me towards the end of the year, with Purdy.
I could have sworn I picked Purdy that year. I remember they faced Baltimore on Christmas night.
You preseason that year, you picked Deshaun Watson as your MVP because you were very high on the Browns.
In 2022, you picked the Rams over the Colts.
What?
For what?
September 6th.
For what?
September 6th, 2022. Anthony, Super Bowl, Rams over Colts.
Oh, man.
Ooh. Must have been on drugs.
I mean, I wasn't much better. I had Bills over Saints. Dylan, you had Bills over Packers.
Oh.
You picked the Colts to win the division that year. Yeah, we
well, that nobody expected Houston to be that good that fast.
Yeah.
That was unexpected. Anthony.
So I think it's is it a foregone conclusion at the Titans are taking Cam Ward?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. So what are y'all doing with what's his name? I forgot his fucking name.
Will Levis gonna be the
bag of
backup.
nachos.
Nah, he's gonna be the backup.
He said a bag of nachos.
Bag of nachos.
They're not gonna let him go.
Put some respect on that man's name.
He doesn't deserve any. He really doesn't deserve any. The thing is, I'm thinking Sanders is falling. He's dropping.
It's going to be real interesting where he goes because he's going to end up falling to a sneaky team, and it's going to be.
You want to know where he's going to fall?
I hope it's not New Orleans because they stink.
It's New Orleans.
They stink.
He's going to fall to New Orleans.
They are god awful.
If the Jets had a set of nuts on them, they would take him. If Aaron Glenn wanted me all in on Aaron Glenn and Muji, they would take Shedeur Sanders. And I'd be like, hold up. We might have something here.
Because I can't see him falling past New Orleans.
No.
If he does fall past New Orleans, I can't see Dallas letting him go.
Yup, because guess what you have now? Leverage
to get
Dion. Because Schottenheimer getting fired.
That ain't gonna last long. He might be a better coach than we think, but that ain't gonna last long.
Schottenheimer is like he didn't even get a job when he was in his prime. When he was like the best version of Schottenheimer, he didn't get a fucking job. This version of Schottenheimer is fucking 10 years too late. And he only got the job just because. Just because nobody else had a fucking chance because Jerry decided to let fucking McCarthy walk last second and not be able to interview any of the top talents at the fucking coaching pool.
You think Shedeur would be good in Pittsburgh if they traded up? Which they're clearly not going to do.
They don't have anything to give up, but if Shedeur went to Pittsburgh, I don't like their weapons for him.
You don't?
I don't think Pickens and DK are the right receivers for him.
He doesn't have a deep arm.
He's an accurate quarterback. He doesn't have a fucking cannon. So, and those two guys aren't great route runners in the short intermediate game.
DK is a good route runner.
DK is a middle to deep route runner. He's not a good short route
runner. Pickens can't run routes for shit.
Pickens cannot run routes.
Pickens can't run routes for shit. DK, I'm not going to disrespect. I'm not going
And
to
those
disrespect DK. He can run.
Probably not the two quarterbacks wide receivers I'd want for a young quarterback because they both have attitude problems.
They are both volatile.
Very unstable. So as much as I'd be like, yo,
although I feel like
Tomlin
Shedeur,
a good quarterback, then like let's eat him cook. I just don't trust that team as currently constructed. That's why Aaron hasn't signed. Because I also don't think he trusts that team.
I think Shedeur actually could work well with Pickens, though. I feel like Shedor's temperament could work with Pickens. I don't think it would work
Shedeur
with
going to
DK.
talk mad shit to him.
That's why I think it could work. I think that's the kind of quarterback. Pickens needs a quarterback that's going to tell him, shut up and go run the route that I tell you to run.
Or Pickens is going to be like, all right, square up.
If the problem is Pickens thinks he's the best player on the team. If he doesn't think he's the best player on the team, that's why I don't actually think him and the DK are going to be a problem together per se, because you just got to get Pickens respect. Like he wouldn't have pulled this shit with Aaron Rodgers until he realized Aaron Rodgers couldn't throw him the ball. But them first 4 weeks. He would have been just like with Russ. He was cool with Russ at the beginning when Russ was throwing him the touchdowns and stuff, because Russ was throwing the ball up to him. He was cool with it. It wasn't until he wasn't cool with it. So, if you have a quarterback that's getting him the ball, but if he sees DK scoring, then I think he's just going to shut up. He's going to just shut up. No, I think he's going to shut up.
The person who would eat the most with Shedeur is Fryermuth.
Oh, yeah.
He would eat.
Because Fryermuth is really good.
That's Shedor's wheelhouse.
Moose is good.
Mm-hmm. That's where he'd be great. But I don't know. I think it's super crazy that teams that can need a quarterback are going to fucking pass on him. Like, that's wild to me.
Or teams that don't need a quarterback. Because honestly...
there are some.
I don't know what Jackson.
There are some organizations that don't see highly. They don't think highly of him.
Jacksonville should not let him pass. Your Raiders absolutely
should not let who pass.
Shedeur.
Wait, why should Jacksonville not let Shedeur pass?
Because sunshine ain't it.
Well, I'm talking about but I'm talking about like just like.
Reset the
not
clock.
Opinions aside and whatnot.
They paid him. They can't do it.
I know.
They can't do it. So
get a shitload.
Then you still have to pay him if you trade him.
Yeah, no, you can work that out with the team.
Yeah, no team is going to take on that full contract.
Yeah, let's go half.
But Mike, I agree with you.
If you go half,
Trevor Lawrence saying that.
It's not horrible. But Trevor Lawrence.
Well, I don't think Shedeur is the one.
No fun.
If you're going to move on from Trevor Lawrence next year's draft, you'd be the one to do it.
Because they're going to stink again this
year. That might not sound unrealistic. I mean, if you're the Jaguars and Shedeur Sanders is staring you in the face, it's just like, we have this quarterback that it's not that good. And we gave him this massive contract that he's not living up to.
They also keep giving him bullshit and expect everything to work out for him. Like, you keep giving him bullshit.
That's no, don't do that, Dylan.
Like, it's a lot.
Don't do that. We making too many. Listen.
Talent that Trevor Lawrence had.
Mike, stop it. Daniel Jones fucking.
Daniel Jones would have killed for the talent that Trevor Lawrence had.
Daniel Jones is
I can't go that route either because Daniel Jones stinks. So I can't even go that route either.
But Daniel Jones, both can be true though. Daniel Jones can stink and could also have had no talent whatsoever around him. The Giants
Lee Neighbors is really good.
In 7 years had the talent that Jacksonville had at the skill position 2 years ago.
I mean, to be fair, the only wide receiver worth a damn on that team was a rookie. Like, they paid Christian Kirk to be bad. they didn't have help.
Well, he wasn't supposed to do that.
We all made fun of that contract when he got there. He had like a good couple games, and then he was just bad.
Still better.
And then Doug Peterson stopped using Travis Etienne. Just stopped using him.
Better than anything the Giants have had in 5 years, outside of Saquon. And
I was
Malik
going to say,
Neighbors.
then you just took away the best thing they had. And
Outside of-
Malik Neighbors.
Outside of Malik Neighbors and Saquon, better than anything the Giants have had in 5 years.
And they stopped using him. So did they really have him?
Outside of Saquon and Malik Neighbors, Kirk is better than anything the Giants have had in 5 years.
Not really. Kirk stinks.
He's still better than anything the Giants have had in 5 years.
Pounding the table for Christian Kirk is crazy.
Calvin Ridley is better than anything the Giants have had
Calvin
in
Ridley
5
hasn't
years.
played for the Jaguars in 3 seasons.
And still better than anything the Giants have had in 5 years.
Calvin Ridley got suspended for the year.
The Giants
For
have
4
never
seasons.
had any talent.
Trevor Lawrence had Calvin.
Nah, I've given up on I've given up on Trevor Lawrence. I've given him enough chances. He's had too many coaching changes, too many roster changes. He still hasn't produced.
That's the bad part. Is we're running the course on it, and bad organizations going to do what bad organizations do, where they just can't fucking find a way to build around a guy. And Trevor's going to go somewhere else, and somebody else is going to get Trevor. Their hands on him. They're going to get him for cheap. And they're going to be like, oh, shit, okay, we got him. And you know who's end up going to be in? Fucking McVay in L.A. McVay's going to fucking get Trevor Lawrence, and you're like, fuck. Fuck. He's got somebody who's competent. Fuck. Again, if you're going to move off Trevor, you can't do it this year.
I can't. I've been telling y'all.
You got to see what he's got.
How much guarantee?
Sunshine ain't it.
There's not a lot of guaranteed money on his contract like that. Like he signed a max deal, but it was a very team-friendly max deal.
It's not the guaranteed money; it's the yearly cap hit that you get on it that you have to really worry about.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah,
just the way the contract's structured. So it's like, cool. You run 1 year with a new head coach and Trevor, and then if it doesn't work, again, I think this dude's gonna get fired. You run it back, and then you blow it up.
What?
I think that the Jaguars head coach is gonna get fired. Like, you can't just hire guys off of with no job experience. Like, he was the play caller one time in his career. And he's been in the NFL a little bit. Like, I'm not a proponent of hiring coaches like that. I'm also not a proponent of paying guys for 1 year progression. So, or production. So, I can't do it. But this year, give me Jalen Milroe in round 6 as a fucking return man.
You stop.
Mike, would he not be elite at that though? Because he's a fucking specimen athletically.
He's not fast enough for that.
No, he absolutely is fast enough for that.
Fast enough to
He
do it.
absolutely is. He'd be a dog. You know who we compared him to as a runner today? Cordell Patterson. Think about it. Think about it. Damn, he's right. Damn, he's right. Why has nobody asked him to change position yet?
Because he's a quarterback.
He's not good though. He's a terrible quarterback. He is a really fucking bad quarterback. I'm not going to say he's the worst quarterback in the draft, but he is right there. The only thing that keeps him not there is his fucking upside athletically because he's a fucking freak.
He is a freak athletically, but
return man of the year. And then make him a gunner on the other side.
Make sure you hit the like, share, and subscribe button. Hit that notification button so you know when we go live.
Jalen Miller stinks.
Knicks play on Thursday. Lakers play tomorrow,
And we got NFL draft
Thursday, right? Friday.
Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
Thursday.
So we'll definitely be live Thursday because it's going to be a lot going on Thursday. Unless Dylan will be in his bunker yelling at the Jets. Because I know that's where Roz will be.
Listen, if the Jets select Tyler Warren, I'm jumping out this window. I'm jumping out the fucking window. I can't handle that.
Maybe we'll do a watch party.
I can't fucking handle it.
Because the draft is going to start at 8. The Knicks will be on at 7:30.
I can't fucking handle it.
Yeah, maybe we'll do a
I'm
watch
going
party.
to throw myself out this
One way or another, we'll be live on Thursday. So join us on Thursday. Podcast Poppy, Anthony, Breezy. I'm your host, Big Mike, and we will be back, and we will wish you adieu. Good night.